Episode 16. Ever wonder why old records just sound so good?
Stuff from the Vault. Behind the scenes stories from the music business and more. Hosted by George Louvis. Okay, welcome to Stuff from the Vault. I finally have this together to show you some of the studio effects. So you're going to kind of see me talking, but I'm going to take you inside the MacBook Pro that I actually do the recording on and show you what the tracks look like. So over here is I've got a Trident A-Range EQ, and Trident EQs are some of the best in the world. In the 70s when Trident came out, they only, I believe, built a few, 5 or 6 A-Range consoles. If you could find one now, it would cost you probably $500,000 to get it. I have the EQ from it, and I just turned it on, and you should have heard a little boost in my voice. And just to kind of show you what this does, if I push like 1K, I get a little nasally and twangy and just weird. I can pull that out. I can pull some of the bass out to make it thinner, or I can push it up to make it thicker. The high end here makes things a little clearer. So that's just, a quick overview of how this works. If I were singing, well, you don't want to hear that, but I mean, if there was a real singer here, it would sound a whole lot better. So that's the Trident A-Range EQ. What I want to do now is show you the Eventide 910 Harmonizer. The 910, when they first described it, they said it messes with the fabric of time, because listen to what this can do. I'm going to turn it on now. All right, and if you're listening, especially if you have headphones, my voice should have just gotten thicker and wider. You should hear a spread in your headphones. It has a digital delay. Where you hear? Check. Let's turn the delay off for now. And now, again, if you've got headphones, this will be a little cooler than if you're just listening to it in a speaker. But I can take my pitch way up, and I'll do it on both sides, so you hear my voice and that helium voice, or I can go really low. And what they usually did, like David Bowie used this on the Low album. Actually, sorry, let me fix these so I'm easier to understand. Actually, let's bypass that for the moment. So they used it on the Low album. A lot of the effects, like on the snare drum, they'd hit the snare, but you'd hear every time they hit the snare drum, there would be this dive. That was the Eventide taking that pitch down. They use it on vocals because as soon as you sing into it, it's just amazing because of how it thickens your voice. So again, I'm not a singer, but if I put this on for a minute, now if I do it without it, so you could just see, it just sounds better with it. At least I think it sounds better with it. And what I've done is I've detuned it a hair down, like 1 cent down and 1 cent up. And because it wasn't stable, it wasn't enough to pull it really flat or push it really sharp, but it just made things sound thicker. So again, let's turn this off for a minute, and now I want to show you Abbey Road. We've talked about Abbey Road on a couple episodes. To get reverb in a recording studio, you had to do a couple of things. You either had to have a large room and place microphones all around it so that you could catch the reflections from all over the room, or back in the day, they built plates, and these metal plates, and this is a virtual recreation of the exact plates that are in Abbey Road. These plates, they would have a transducer on it, a microphone, speakers. They would actually put the sound from the recording console onto that plate, which would vibrate, and then they would pick it up from different places to make things sound better. So if I turn this on, now you can hear how this sounds, and it's really cool. Right? Nothing. Whoops, sorry. So again, it just gives you some life. And actually, if we put the harmonizer back on, it just, it brings a vocal to life. But what's really cool now is now they have something called a convolution, excuse me, reverb. You can be anywhere you want. So, like, I can go to this amphitheater, and now I'm, oops, sorry, gotta turn it on, but now I'm in a theater. This thing, they have CBGBs, okay? We played CBGBs. So I want to be in the aisle at CBGBs, and now I am. So this is what it would sound like if I was on the stage at CBGBs and you were in the audience in the aisle listening. So I'll turn it off. So here it gets dry. You turn it back on. But this piece of equipment is so crazy cool. It's made by a company called Waves, and they have hundreds of different arenas, amphitheaters, different places. So here's Wembley, okay? I'm gonna put myself in Wembley. Hello, check. Hello. Hello, London. Oh, that's pitiful, sorry. But anyway, so again, turn it off. Dry, just me. Actually, let's turn the harmonizer back off, and then turn this back on. And if I were on the stage at Wembley, this is the exact, this reverb is an exact recreation of that. When I had my studio, we used to put speakers in the hallway. Sometimes we'd have singers in the hallway, and we would try to get a really rich reverb, but we also had digital reverbs, but nothing like this where I could be anywhere I want to be. They have the Apollo Theater in here someplace. Where is it? Sorry, I forget. Concert halls, maybe? Nope. Oh, well. Oh, theaters. Duh. Sorry, right at the bottom where it says theaters. That would, So here I am in row 7 at the Apollo Theater. And again, this is the exact recreation. So I think this stuff is very cool, and I have a lot of fun with it. I'm going to turn off the effects now and just talk to you. But even my microphone collection, I have so many vintage mics through this virtual mic closet. So I can go here and I can pick any mic that I want. Here's a U47. These are classic old mics, a 67. I can pick any one that I want and just use that mic for whatever vocal I'm doing. So I love this technology. I wanted to give you a little insight on how some of it works. I hope this was interesting to you, and join me again for the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.
Stuff from the Vault, behind the scenes stories from the music business and more. Brought to you by My Social Media USA and Edge City Design. Featuring George Louvis. StuffFromTheVault.com.